The giant space station hung in the darkness of space like a shiny toy. It was shaped like a wheel, spinning slowly to make gravity for the beings inside. Today, the station was very busy. Aliens from all over the galaxy were coming here for a special event, the Galactic Pet Expo. Minho, a blue-skinned alien with 4 arms and big round eyes, stood at a large window. He watched as spaceships of all shapes and sizes flew towards the station. Minho was a xenobiologist, which means he studied life from different planets. He loved his job, and he was very excited about the expo. "I can't wait to see all the new pets," Minho said to himself. He smiled, showing his sharp white teeth. The expo happened every year, but this time was special. A new species called humans were coming for the first time. No one knew much about humans or their pets. This made Minho even more excited. Minho left the window and walked down a long hallway. The walls were white and shiny. Other aliens passed by him. Some had tentacles instead of arms. Others floated in the air like balloons. A few rolled on wheels or slid on slime. Everyone was different, but they all shared the same feeling: excitement. As Minho walked, he heard many languages. Some sounded like music. Others were just colors or smells. But thanks to their universal translators, everyone could understand each other. "Did you hear about the humans?" A green, squishy alien asked its friend. "Yes, I wonder what kind of pets they have," the friend replied. It looked like a walking plant with eyes on stalks. Minho smiled as he listened. He was wondering the same thing. Soon, Minho reached the main expo hall. It was huge, bigger than 100 football fields. The ceiling was so high he could barely see it. All around, there were booths and cages and tanks. Each one held different alien pets. Minho saw pets that looked like clouds of gas. They changed colors as they floated in their cages. He passed by some rock-like creatures that could roll into balls. In one large tank, fish-like animals with too many eyes swam in circles. "Amazing," Minho said. He took out his data pad and made notes about everything he saw. As he walked, Minho heard a loud noise. It sounded like ribbit, ribbit. He turned and saw a group of aliens gathered around a tank. Inside, small green animals were jumping in and out of water. "What are those?" Minho asked a nearby alien. "They're called frogs," the alien said. "They're from a planet called Earth. The humans brought them." Minho's eyes got even bigger. "The humans are here already?" he asked. The other alien nodded. "They arrived an hour ago. Everyone's talking about it." Minho thanked the alien and hurried through the crowd. He wanted to find the human area. As he walked, he saw more and more excited aliens. They were all heading in the same direction. Finally, Minho reached a large section of the expo hall. A big sign said Earth Pets in many languages. There was a long line of aliens waiting to get in. Minho joined the line. He could hear strange noises coming from inside. Some sounded like woof, and others like meow. He had no idea what they meant, but they made him curious. As the line moved forward, Minho saw a human for the first time. It was standing at the entrance, greeting aliens. The human had 2 arms, 2 legs, and fur on top of its head. Its skin was a light brown color. The human smiled and said, "Welcome to the Earth Pet Exhibit. I'm Ensues, the human ambassador. We're so happy to share our animal friends with you all." Minho couldn't believe it. He was about to see real human pets. His heart beat faster as he got closer to the front of the line. He wondered what amazing creatures the humans had brought. Would they be as strange as the humans themselves? As he waited, Minho heard gasps and excited chatter from inside the exhibit. Whatever was in there, it was causing quite a stir. Minho couldn't wait to see for himself. Finally, it was Minho's turn to enter. Ambassador Ensues smiled at him and said, "Enjoy the exhibit." Minho took a deep breath and stepped inside. He was ready for anything. or so he thought. Minho stepped into the Earth Pet exhibit. His eyes grew wide with wonder. The area was full of strange creatures he had never seen before. There were small furry animals with 4 legs and wagging tails. Others were sleek and graceful, with pointed ears and long whiskers. Some creatures had feathers and made loud squawking noises. "What are these beings?" Minho asked, his voice full of awe. A human with long black hair turned to him with a smile. "I'm Su-Yun," she said. "Welcome to our exhibit. These are some of Earth's most beloved pets. The ones with wagging tails are dogs. The quiet, graceful ones are cats. And those colorful, noisy ones are birds." Minho couldn't believe his eyes. He had expected Earth pets to be strange, but these were beyond his wildest dreams. He watched as a small, fluffy dog ran up to an alien child. The alien screamed in fear, but the dog just wagged its tail and licked the alien's hand. "Don't be afraid," Su-Yun said to the alien child. "Dogs are very friendly. They show love by licking." The alien child looked confused, but slowly reached out to pat the dog's head. The dog's tail wagged faster, and it made a happy woof sound. Soon, the alien child was giggling and playing with the dog. Minho watched this with great interest. He took out his data pad and started making notes. "Fascinating," he muttered. These dogs seemed to form quick bonds with other species. As he moved through the exhibit, Minho saw more surprising things. A group of aliens were watching a cat clean itself with its tongue. They whispered to each other, amazed at how flexible the cat was. In another corner, a parrot was repeating alien words it had just heard. The aliens around it were shocked. They had never seen an animal that could mimic speech before. Suddenly, there was a commotion near the entrance. Minho turned to look. A tall, important-looking human had just arrived. She wore a shiny uniform with many badges. "That's Ambassador Jisoo," Su-Yun explained to Minho. "She's the leader of our delegation." Ambassador Jisoo stood on a small platform and cleared her throat. The room fell silent as everyone turned to listen. "Greetings, friends from across the galaxy," Jisoo said in a clear, strong voice. "We humans are honored to be part of this wonderful expo. We hope our pets will bring joy and wonder to all of you, just as they do for us on Earth." As she spoke, Minho noticed something odd. A small furry animal was creeping up behind the ambassador. It had long ears and was hopping on its back legs. Before anyone could react, it jumped right onto the platform. There were gasps from the crowd. Some aliens backed away in fear. But Ambassador Jisoo just laughed. She bent down and picked up the animal, holding it gently in her arms. "And this little one," she said with a smile, "is a rabbit. On Earth, they're known for being cute, soft, and a bit mischievous." The rabbit twitched its nose and looked at the crowd with big, curious eyes. Many aliens leaned in for a closer look, their fear turning to interest. Minho was amazed. These Earth pets were so different from anything he had seen before. They weren't just animals. They seemed to have personalities. They interacted with people in ways he had never imagined possible. As he watched, more and more aliens entered the exhibit. Some were scared at first, but most quickly became fascinated. They asked questions, took pictures, and even tried to pet the animals. Minho overheard 2 aliens talking nearby. One looked like a tall insect, while the other was covered in spikes. "Can you believe these humans?" the insect-like alien said. "They'd bring these strange creatures to live in their homes." "I know," the spiky alien replied. "It's so weird, but I kind of want to try it. That dog looks so soft and happy." Minho smiled to himself. It seemed the Earth pets were already changing how aliens thought about animals. He wondered what other surprises the humans had in store. Just then, Minho heard a loud moo from the back of the exhibit. He turned to see a much larger animal with black and white spots. It had horns and was chewing on something green. "What in the galaxy is that?" an alien near Minho asked. sounding shocked. Su Yun appeared again, grinning widely. "That's a cow," she explained. "It's not exactly a pet, but we brought one to show you. On Earth, they give us milk to drink." The alien looked even more confused. "You drink liquid from another animal, voluntarily?" Minho laughed to himself. It seemed there was still a lot for everyone to learn about humans and their animals. He couldn't wait to see what would happen next. The Earth Pet exhibit was getting more crowded. Aliens of all shapes and sizes pushed to get a better look at the strange animals. Minho stood near the dog area, watching with great interest. He noticed a big, friendly-looking dog with yellow fur. The humans called it a Labrador. The Labrador wagged its tail and looked at everyone with big, happy eyes. Many aliens were afraid to get close, but some braver ones reached out to pat its head. The dog seemed to love the attention. Suddenly, there was a loud crash. Everyone turned to look. A small alien child had knocked over a stack of boxes. The noise scared the Labrador. Before anyone could stop it, the dog ran out of its area. "Oh no!" shouted Su Yun. "Someone catch Buddy." But Buddy the Labrador was too fast. He ran through the crowd, his tail wagging with excitement. Aliens jumped out of the way, screaming in fear. They had never seen an Earth animal move so quickly before. Minho watched in amazement as Buddy raced around the exhibit. The dog seemed to think this was a fun game. He ran up to aliens, sniffing them and trying to play. But the aliens didn't understand. They thought Buddy was attacking them. "Help!" yelled a tall, skinny alien as Buddy jumped up to lick its face. "This Earth monster is trying to eat me." Other aliens started to panic. They ran in all directions, trying to get away from Buddy. But the happy dog thought they wanted to play chase. He ran after them, barking loudly. Ambassador Jisu tried to calm everyone down. "Please don't be afraid," she shouted. "Buddy is friendly. He just wants to play." But the aliens couldn't understand. To them, Buddy's big teeth and loud barks seemed very scary. The panic was spreading fast. Minho knew he had to do something. He had been watching the dogs all day and understood they were not dangerous. He stepped in front of Buddy, holding out his hands. "Nice doggy," Minho said softly. "Good boy, Buddy. Calm down now." Buddy stopped running. He looked at Minho with his head tilted to one side. Then, to everyone's surprise, Buddy sat down and held up his paw. Minho remembered seeing the human do this earlier. He reached out and shook Buddy's paw. "Good boy," he said, just like the humans did. Buddy's tail wagged even faster. He let out a happy woof and licked Minho's hand. The aliens around them watched in shock. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. This strange Earth creature had calmed down so quickly. Su Yun ran up with a leash. "Thank you so much," she said to Minho as she attached it to Buddy's collar. "You really helped us out." Minho smiled. "It was no problem," he said. "I find these dogs very interesting. They seem to understand us in a way I've never seen before." As Su Yun led Buddy back to his area, the other aliens started to relax. They had seen that the dog wasn't dangerous after all. Some even came closer, wanting to try petting Buddy themselves. Ambassador Jisu walked over to Minho. "That was very brave of you," she said. "I'm impressed by how quickly you understood Buddy's behavior." Minho felt proud. "Thank you, Ambassador," he said. "I'm a xenobiologist. It's my job to study and understand new life forms. Your Earth animals are the most fascinating creatures I've ever seen." Jisu smiled. "I'm glad you think so," she said. "Would you like to help us explain Earth pets to the other aliens? I think they would listen to one of their own." Minho's eyes lit up. "I would be honored," he said. For the rest of the day, Minho worked with the humans. He helped introduce aliens to the different Earth pets. He explained how dogs, cats, and other animals behaved. Many aliens were still nervous, but they started to understand. By the end of the day, Some aliens were even asking if they could have Earth pets of their own. As the exhibit closed for the night, Minho felt happy and excited. He had learned so much about Earth and its animals. But he also knew that this was just the beginning. There was still so much more to discover about humans and their pets. Little did Minho know, the excitement was far from over. The first day had gone well, but there were still many more Earth animals to meet, and not all of them would be as easy to handle as Buddy the Labrador. The next day, Minho arrived early at the Earth Pet exhibit. He was excited to see what new adventures awaited. As he walked in, he saw the human team getting ready for another busy day. Su-Yan waved at him. "Good morning, Minho. Ready for more fun with Earth pets?" Minho nodded happily, but before he could answer, a loud meow caught his attention. He turned to see a small orange cat sitting on top of a tall shelf. "Oh no," Su-Yan sighed. "How did Whiskers get up there?" As they watched, Whiskers started to climb even higher. The cat jumped from shelf to shelf, knocking over books and toys. "I'll get her," shouted a human named Junho. He grabbed a ladder and started to climb. But Whiskers had other plans. The cat leaped gracefully from the top shelf, sailed over Junho's head, and landed on a passing alien's shoulders. The alien, who looked like a walking tree, let out a loud shriek. "Help, I'm being attacked by a furry monster." Whiskers, thinking this was a fun new game, dug her claws into the alien's bark-like skin and held on tight. More aliens started to panic. They ran around trying to avoid the cat. But Whiskers kept jumping from one alien to another, treating them like a giant climbing frame. Minho tried to help catch Whiskers, but the cat was too quick. Every time he got close, Whiskers would dart away, leaving confused and scared aliens in her wake. Meanwhile, on the other side of the exhibit, another problem was brewing. A group of colorful birds called parrots had escaped from their cage. They flew around the room, repeating alien words they had heard. "Glorblax," squawked a red parrot, using a rude word it had learned from a grumpy alien visitor. "Zing zoop zap," chirped a blue parrot, mimicking the sound of an alien's translator device. The aliens were shocked. They had never seen animals that could copy their languages before. Some thought the birds were mocking them, while others worried the birds could steal secret information. Ambassador Jisu rushed from one crisis to another, trying to calm everyone down. "Please, everyone, stay calm," she shouted. "The cats and birds are harmless. They're just playing." But it was hard for the aliens to believe her. To them, it looked like chaos was taking over the exhibit. In the middle of all this, Minho noticed something even worse. The door to the rabbit enclosure was open, and dozens of fluffy bunnies were hopping out. The rabbits scattered in all directions. Some found the alien plant display and started munching on the strange, colorful leaves. Others discovered the snack bar and began nibbling on dropped alien foods. One brave bunny even hopped up to the biggest, scariest-looking alien in the room, a massive creature with tentacles and glowing eyes. The alien froze in terror as the tiny rabbit sniffed its tentacles curiously. Minho couldn't help but laugh at the sight. Here was one of the most feared species in the galaxy, paralyzed by a small, fluffy Earth animal. As the chaos grew, the station's security team arrived. They were led by a stern-looking alien named Grok. Grok surveyed the scene with his 3 eyes, looking very unimpressed. "What is the meaning of this?" Grok demanded. "This expo is out of control." Ambassador Jisu tried to explain, but it was hard to hear her over the squawking parrots, meowing cats, and screaming aliens. Minho knew he had to do something. He remembered how he had helped with Buddy the dog yesterday. Maybe he could use what he had learned to help calm this situation too. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Excuse me, Security Chief Grok," Minho said politely. "I think I can help explain what's happening here." Grok turned all 3 of his eyes to Minho. "You have 1 minute," he growled. Minho nodded and began to speak. He knew that the next few moments could decide the fate of the entire Earth pet exhibit. Could he help the aliens understand these strange Earth creatures before it was too late? As Minho started to explain, a group of curious aliens gathered around to listen. Even with the chaos all around, there was still hope that understanding could be reached. But the biggest challenges were yet to come. Minho took a deep breath and began to explain to Security Chief Grok about Earth pets. He talked about how cats like to climb, how birds mimic sounds, and how rabbits are curious but harmless. Grok listened with his 3 eyes narrowed. But before Minho could finish, a loud moo echoed through the exhibit. Everyone turned to see the cow, which had somehow gotten out of its pen. The big animal was slowly walking through the crowd, its bell clanging with each step. This was too much for the aliens. Panic broke out again, worse than before. "Run for your lives," shouted a small green alien. "The Earth monsters are taking over." Aliens started rushing towards the exits. They pushed and shoved, trying to get out as fast as they could. The human staff tried to stop them, but it was no use. "Please, stay calm," Ambassador Jisoo called out, but her voice was lost in the noise. Minho watched in shock as the exhibit emptied. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were fleeing. Some even used their special powers to escape faster. One group turned into smoke and floated away. Another bunch shrunk down tiny and scurried under the doors. Soon, the only aliens left were Minho and the security team. They stood in the middle of the exhibit, surrounded by loose Earth pets. Grok turned to Ambassador Jisoo, his face dark with anger. "This expo is over," he growled. "You must remove all these creatures from the station at once." Jisoo looked sad, but nodded. "We understand," she said. "We'll start packing up right away." As the human staff began to round up the animals, Minho felt terrible. He had really wanted the aliens to understand and like Earth pets. Now it seemed like that would never happen. But then he noticed something strange. Not all the aliens had left. A few curious ones were peeking in through the doors and windows. They looked scared, but also interested. One brave alien child snuck back into the exhibit. It walked up to a rabbit and gently patted its soft fur. The rabbit wiggled its nose, making the alien giggle. Minho had an idea. He turned to Grok and Jisoo. "Wait," he said. "Don't give up yet. I think I know how to fix this." Minho explained his plan. At first, Grok didn't like it, but after some arguing, he finally agreed to give it a try. Soon, a message went out to the whole space station. It invited aliens to come back to the exhibit, but this time in small groups. They would get a special, safe tour to learn about Earth pets up close. Slowly, aliens started to return. They came in tiny groups, looking nervous but excited. Minho and the human staff showed them how to safely pet the animals. They explained how each pet behaved and why. A group of floating aliens were fascinated by the fish tank. They watched the colorful fish swim back and forth, moving just like they did. Some tall aliens with long arms loved the birds. They held out perches and laughed as parrots landed on them, squawking hello. Even the scary-looking aliens with sharp teeth enjoyed the soft rabbits. They were amazed at how calm they felt while petting the fluffy bunnies. As for the cow, it became a big hit once the aliens learned it was calm and friendly. Many wanted to try milking it, thinking it was some kind of Earth magic. Minho worked hard all day, helping aliens understand the pets. He showed them how to be gentle and kind to animals. Many aliens were surprised to learn that on Earth, pets were treated like part of the family. By the end of the day, things had totally changed. Instead of running away, aliens were lining up to get into the exhibit. Some even asked if they could adopt Earth pets of their own. Grok came back to check on things. He looked around with all 3 eyes wide open. "I can't believe it," he said. "You really turned this around." Ambassador Jisoo smiled at Minho. "We couldn't have done it without your help," she said. You bridged the gap between our worlds." Minho felt proud. He had helped the aliens see Earth pets in a new way. But he also knew this was just the beginning. There was still so much more to learn and share. As he watched aliens and pets playing happily together, Minho wondered what other surprises Earth might bring to the galaxy in the future. The next day, Minho arrived at the Earth pet exhibit feeling excited. Things were different now. Instead of chaos, there was a sense of calm curiosity in the air. Small groups of aliens were scattered around the exhibit. They weren't running or screaming anymore. Instead, they were watching the Earth pets with wonder. Minho saw a group of tall, tree-like aliens standing near the cat area. They were amazed by how high the cats could jump. One alien held out a branch-like arm, and an orange cat named Ginger climbed up to sit on its shoulder. "Incredible," the alien said. "On our planet, no animal would dare climb us. But this small cat shows no fear." Nearby, a group of small, round aliens were rolling around with some puppies. The puppies yipped happily, chasing the aliens as they rolled. Both the aliens and the puppies seemed to be having a great time. Minho smiled. It was wonderful to see the aliens and pets getting along so well. Ambassador Jisu walked up to Minho. "We've had an idea," she said. "Would you like to help us teach an alien pet communication class?" Minho's eyes lit up. "I'd love to," he said. Soon, Minho found himself standing in front of a group of curious aliens. Some looked nervous, others excited. All of them wanted to learn more about Earth pets. "Today, we'll learn how to talk to dogs," Minho said. He brought out a friendly golden retriever named Max. "First, let's learn about dog body language," Minho explained. "When Max wags his tail, it usually means he's happy." The aliens watched in fascination as Max's tail swished back and forth. "Now let's try making Max happy," Minho said. He showed the aliens how to hold out their hands, or tentacles, or branches, for Max to sniff. A shy alien with purple fur stepped forward. It slowly held out a paw to Max. The dog sniffed it gently, then gave it a little lick. The alien giggled, sounding surprised and delighted. "Very good," Minho said. "Max is saying he likes you." As the class went on, the aliens learned how to pet dogs, play fetch, and even give basic commands like sit and stay. By the end, many of the aliens were confidently interacting with Max and other dogs. Next, Su-Yun taught a class about cats. She showed the aliens how to use toys to play with cats and how to tell when a cat wanted to be left alone. A group of floating, gas-like aliens were fascinated by the cat's ability to always land on their feet. They spent hours gently tossing cat toys in the air, watching the cats leap and twist to catch them. Even the rabbits had their own class. Jun-Ho taught the aliens how to hold rabbits safely and how to feed them carrots. The aliens were amazed at how soft rabbit fur was. As the day went on, Minho noticed something interesting. The aliens weren't just learning about Earth pets. They were also sharing stories about animals from their own planets. A squishy, blob-like alien told Minho about pets on its homeworld that changed color based on their mood. Another alien, who looked like a walking crystal, described creatures that communicated through light patterns. Minho realized that Earth pets were helping the aliens understand each other better too. They were all sharing their experiences and finding common ground. By the end of the day, something amazing happened. A group of aliens approached Ambassador Jisu with a request. "We want to adopt some Earth pets," they said. "Can you teach us how to care for them on our own planets?" Jisu looked surprised but happy. "Of course," she said. "We'd be honored to share our pets with the galaxy." Minho felt a warm glow of pride. He had helped turn a disaster into something wonderful. Earth pets were bringing different species together in ways no one had expected. As he watched aliens and pets playing together happily, Minho knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same now that Earth pets had arrived. But even as he celebrated this success, Minho couldn't help but wonder, What new challenges and adventures would tomorrow bring? The last day of the Galactic Pet Expo had arrived. Minho walked into the Earth Pet exhibit, feeling both happy and a little sad. He had learned so much in the past few days, and he didn't want it to end. The exhibit was busy, but not with panic like before. Aliens of all kinds were calmly interacting with the Earth pets. Some were even filling out forms to adopt pets of their own. Minho saw Ambassador Jisoo talking to Security Chief Grok. He walked over to hear what they were saying. And that's why we think a cultural exchange program would be a great idea, Jisoo was saying. Grok nodded, all three of his eyes blinking thoughtfully. I agree, he said. These Earth pets have taught us more about humans than any official meeting ever could. Minho's ears perked up. A cultural exchange program? He asked. Jisoo smiled at him. Yes, Minho. We're proposing that some aliens come to Earth to learn more about our pets and how we live with them. And in return, humans would visit other planets to learn about their animals. Minho's mind raced with excitement. He imagined visiting strange new worlds, seeing amazing alien creatures. That sounds wonderful, he said. Just then, a commotion caught their attention. A group of aliens were gathered around the cow pen, looking confused. Is everything okay? Jisoo asked as they walked over. A tall, spindly alien turned to them. We're trying to understand the purpose of this cow, it said. It doesn't seem as interactive as the other Earth pets. Jisoo laughed. Ah, let me explain, she said. She spent the next few minutes telling the aliens about farms, milk, and how important cows were to many Earth cultures. The aliens listened with great interest. Fascinating, one said. On our world, we get our drinks from special plants. We never thought of getting them from animals. This led to a long discussion about different ways of life across the galaxy. Minho was amazed at how a simple cow could spark such deep conversations. As the day went on, Minho helped more aliens learn about Earth pets. He taught a jellyfish-like alien how to walk a dog. He showed a rock-like alien how to use a laser pointer to play with cats. But he also learned a lot from the aliens. He heard stories about pets that could change shape, pets that lived in clouds, and even pets that were actually tiny spaceships. Towards the end of the day, Ambassador Jisoo called everyone together for a final meeting. Aliens, humans, and pets all gathered around to listen. Friends, Jisoo said, when we came here, we didn't know what to expect. We hoped you would like our pets, but we never imagined how much they would change things. She smiled at the crowd. Thanks to all of you, especially Minho. We've turned misunderstanding into friendship. We've learned that no matter where we come from in the galaxy, we all share a love for the animals that share our lives. There was a cheer from the crowd. Even the pets seemed to join in, with dogs barking and cats mewing. So, Jisoo continued, we're happy to announce that the Galactic Council has approved our cultural exchange program. Soon, we'll be sharing our pets and our friendship across the stars. The cheer this time was even louder. Aliens hugged each other and patted nearby pets. Minho felt a warmth in his heart. He had helped make this happen. As the expo came to a close, aliens said goodbye to their favorite pets. Many promised to come visit Earth soon. Some were already making plans to adopt Earth pets of their own. Minho watched as the last of the aliens left, waving goodbye to the humans and pets. He felt proud of what they had accomplished. What started as chaos had ended in understanding and friendship. As he helped the humans pack up, Minho thought about the future. The galaxy would never be the same now that Earth pets had arrived. But he knew that was a good thing. After all, in a big, sometimes scary universe, wasn't it nice to have a furry, or scaly, or feathery friend by your side? Minho smiled to himself. He couldn't wait to see what adventures the future would bring. With Earth pets leading the way, he knew it would be an exciting journey for everyone in the galaxy.